Hello fellow Helldivers, Thornton here. We are out mountain biking at Winter Park in Colorado having a blast. But today we are going to be talking about seasonal content coming to the game and what that means for future customization along with a lot of other features. But without further ado, let's jump into today's video. So, Helldivers 2 has taken an interesting route when it comes to seasonal content. As most of you know, we get war bonds and they do release about once a month, but that wasn't always going to be the case. In fact, Iron Sight's one of the most notable data miners out there, went ahead and let us know that there were certain seasons, in fact one called Seasons of Liberty, and it had different armors and progression systems as you can see here, which is quite different from the traditional war bond system we had. In fact, there was a post that showed up some images where you could buy some weapons specifically with super credits. There were super sales, there were different armor rarities and recolors. Now obviously this was not the route they decided to go. That being said, Iron Sights gave us some pretty interesting information, such as that season 1 was called the Trial War, and that there was up to 3 seasons worth of content that was stored in the game files, meaning that even though they went into war bonds, which now traditionally release at 1 month, a season, which if we look at any other live service game, let's take Apex Legends for example, lasts around 3 months or so, means that there is about 9 months worth of content planned in the file that they have been able to go over. This gets pretty interesting because war bonds were originally meant to be seasonal. They had the first 3 seasons planned as Iron Sight said, and they even had the UI in there. A lot of the stuff for the seasons are still found in the files. It's like they are holding onto it for something Iron Sight says, but overall he's happy they didn't go with the seasons pass, and I gotta be honest, I kind of agree. I think the war bonds are a pretty interesting idea, but with that idea of each season bringing in something new, we are most likely in season 0 of Helldivers right now, and season 1 will be when the Illuminate come. Now we've seen some cool images right here, like Iron Sights showed us the first eye render that he put out, which I think is absolutely fantastic, with the fact that the Illuminate are likely going to be one major faction that we see for one of the planned seasons, and with 2 more additional past that, it makes us wonder what we could see for future enemies after the Illuminate. Well, interestingly enough, Iron Sights does let us know that there are rebels actually found in the files, and Jinx was also nice enough to show me a render that they made using Blender with the assets actually found in Helldivers for Super Earth. So it wouldn't surprise me if at some point in the future of this game we do get a rebel faction brought in. It could be a weather event or it could be a seasonal event that we get in, and a 4th faction could be the rebels. There was also some talk that players are speculating that they hope to see something like symbiotes. Overall, there's still a lot of the galaxy map, and we're waiting for just the Illuminate right now, but it's cool to know that they have at least 9 months worth of content that they have been working on, and that they moved from the seasonal pass to the war bond for cosmetics, but the content as in terms of gameplay mechanics are still planned with a set release date. Along with the new seasons, it does also appear that is going to be a form of ship customization coming into the game. Iron Sights actually said there are multiple ship customization options. Right now it's probably only a dev thing, but it makes sense that eventually we'll be seeing it, especially with clans coming into the game. There's also some talk about armor customization, which may be a feature in the future, but as of right now there was nothing talked about it well in the files. You can actually go ahead though and see right here that there is a ship customization texture, which allows for the concept of new stuff to come in, especially when that clan stuff drops, because it's been pretty much confirmed right now that there will be a station in orbit around your current planet where you'll be able to actually use certain stratagems, like a nuke that will be coming in the future that will use clan stratagems. There wasn't too much more info Iron Sights could share about it, but it is pretty interesting. It has probably something to do with the tactical nuclear warhead, although at this point it could be scrapped. It was a stratagem that originally was designed to use super credits on. You spend credits and you launch a nuke. That's pretty interesting. We haven't seen a whole lot of pay to win stuff in this game, but it is PvE, so it isn't out of the realm of possibility. Luckily, there's no PvP component where pay to win would be very bad. Now there's also some other interesting stuff with clans coming in, such as there seems to be a function for arm wrestling. This is going to be a little mini game. It's not too complicated. You just spam your button and you try to outdo the stamina on your opponent. I don't think it's going to be an absolute game changer for this game, but I do like the fact that Arrowhead is experimenting with little fun ways to just make the galaxy and the universe feel more alive and more of a sense of camaraderie with your teammates and more. Now, like I said, platoons and clans, this is something that everyone should pretty much be aware of because this stuff was made very public. It was leaked all over the internet at this point, and it basically is going to be a clan system very akin to what we see in other games. You'll be able to go ahead and orbit planets and use clan stratagems, as Iron Sights let us know, and hopefully when we get this is where the ship customization will actually come in. Now there is also some other interesting stuff that was talked about. As you can see from this image right here, there are a bunch of armor sets and they have purple, blue, and gold/orange around them, and then one that doesn't have any. This is because apparently armor rarities are very much a thing that we could be seeing coming into the game in the near future. There is even some content that Ironsights pointed out where you would be able to purchase weapons with super credits as well, outside of the typical war bond situation. Once again, nothing has been confirmed as actually coming to the game yet. This is probably Arrowhead and Sony testing some things. It is interesting as you can find super credits in game, so it's not the most pay to get the items thing ever. You could just grind it out, which is a system a lot of other games do. I do kind of wonder if the melee weapons will actually come in with that as well. As you can see, Chipper right here in a comment pointed out, I don't think melee weapons will happen. Bayonets were stable the first game, and then Ironsights actually went ahead and showed a texture for an upcoming melee weapon. There were sabers in the first game, and it would be pretty cool to see this actually in a sequel, so I do hope that this also makes it alongside with it, at least with the super credit weapon. So overall, there's a lot to break down and digest with that, but now we're gonna go ahead and hop into the community clips. Remember to hit me up on Thorn and Smash on Twitter to go ahead and submit some of your guys' own clips, and I'll go ahead and include them in the video. But without further ado, let's roll it.
Calling in extraction! Ah! Give me you! I'm bleeding out! Reinforcements!
Request approved. Reinforcements on the way.
Going to the fray. Requesting orbital strike.
Allied destroyer has left the squadron.
Let me know down below, what are your guys' thoughts about seasonal content? Do you hope to see it kind of come in like the Escalation of Freedom did, or with bigger patches overall for a brand new expansion? Also, don't forget to check out this video and this video right here, where I go ahead and cover more news on Helldivers 2, and in just a second, you're going to see someone come flying across the screen. And until next time, everyone, keep spreading democracy, and I'll see you out there.